Hello my dear children, this is my class 10, chapter first is chemical reaction and occasions. We have completed this chapter. So today I am going to take NCERT questions. Kindly open your NCERT book and continue along with me. The first I am taking your in text, that is internal question. In text questions. Question number 1. I'm going to explain each and every question. The question number 1 is magnesium ribbon is cleaned before burning in air. Write down your magnesium ribbon. You know magnesium ribbon. Magnesium is a very reactive metal. Magnesium is a reactive metal. So why should it be cleaned before burning? Because it is very reactive metal. In the presence of that is oxygen in air, in the presence of oxygen, it get covered by a layer. It get covered by a layer of oxides. So it's must to remove this layer. In the presence of air, being a reactive metal, it is covered by a layer of oxide. So that's the reason it is must to remove the layer of oxide before burning. So this is answer. Magnesium ribbon should be cleaned. This layer must be removed. It's very reactive metal. So being reactive, it reacts with the air even and it form an oxide layer around it. Okay. Now the second question is to balance the occasion. Your first part is question number 2 in text. Hydrogen. You know what's a hydrogen formula. And next is chlorine. And next is HCl. How to balance? Very simple. H2Cl2, both are 2 atoms, you put here 2. So in this way your first reaction is balanced. Now second is barium chloride. Barium is 2 plus, chloride is -1. Formula become BaCl2. Right? It's a barium chloride plus aluminium sulfate. Aluminium is 3 plus, sulfate is 2 minus. So crisscross, formula become Al2SO4 thrice. It gives barium sulfate and aluminium chloride. Barium 2 plus, sulfate 2 minus, cancel. Aluminium 3 plus, chloride -1, crisscross. Let us balance it. So how to balance? You can see which one is maximum. Sulfate is 3 times here. Sulfate is 3 times. Here it is 1 time. So you put here 3. Let's say 3 barium. You put here 3 barium. 3 barium. You put here 3. Immediately the other atom number get changed. 3 into 2, 6. Here it is 2. Reaction is balanced, I think. 3 barium, 3 barium. 6 chlorine, aluminium 2, and your sulfur 3, oxygen 12. The third reaction is sodium. Sodium is simple, plus water, giving you NaOH, sodium hydroxide. Sodium is +1, hydroxide is OH -1, plus hydrogen. So it's very simple to balance. You first make the molecule into atom. This is your simple molecule. You convert this molecule into atom. Sodium plus water, arrow NaOH plus H. That I have already discussed in my explanation of the chapter. Now balance the rest. Sodium is 1, oxygen is 1, H is 2, H is here 2. This means your reaction is balanced, but you have to multiply this occasion by 2. Why? Because you again want to convert your atom into molecule. Answer comes 2 sodium plus 2 water, arrow 2 NaOH plus H2. This very simple way. First convert your molecule into atom, then this molecule to atom, which one is a simple one, which way you have converted the molecule into atomic form, you will balance this atom at the end, and the others balance first. Sodium is 1, hydrogen later on, oxygen 1, oxygen 1, hydrogen 2, hydrogen 2. Because the number is odd, H is 1 here. If the number is odd, multiply the whole location by 2. Now this question is completed. Now I'm taking question number 3. Now question number 3 is again of the balancing. Write a balanced location. It's a barium chloride and sodium sulfate. Same. Barium 2 plus, chloride minus 1 plus sodium sulfate. Sodium is plus 1, sulfate is 2. So it is Na2SO4. Barium chloride plus sodium sulfate. That in water it gives an insoluble barium sulfate. Barium is 2 plus, sulfate is 2 minus, because they are giving insoluble, so it is a PPT, precipitates. You put downward arrow, barium sulfate and sodium chloride. You can put the physical state even. Now it is very simple. I balanced even. Barium is 1, sulfate 1, chlorine and sodium both are 2, so I put here 2. So you can write solution of, so you can write aqueous. It's a aqueous and it's aqueous, and this is solid. This is insoluble, means precipitates. This downward arrow means solid, precipitates. So this way you have balanced it. I'm taking the second part. The second part is sodium hydroxide. It's aqueous because it is written in water. Aqueous, sodium hydroxide in water react with the hydrochloric acid HCl, again in water. So put here NaCl. So answer comes very simple, NaCl and water. Sodium chloride and water. So they are saying it is giving you sodium chloride solution and water. Water is liquid and sodium chloride solution, right here aqueous. Aqueous. So this is all about, I'm taking your question number 4th. Question number 4 in text. The question number 4 is name the substance which is used in whitewash. You know, in whitewash the substance used is quicklime. Q-U-I-C-K, quicklime. Chemistry call, in chemical it's called calcium oxide. Calcium oxide. So if it is dissolved in water, it produces a lot of heat. So reaction is exothermic. It produces a lot of heat. Your answer comes calcium hydroxide. So it's a combination reaction. It's a combination reaction and it's an exothermic reaction because heat is produced. Reaction is balanced. Calcium is 1 and oxygen is 2, H is 2. So they're asking about this. Name the element X. Element X is quicklime or calcium oxide. And what happens when it is dissolved in water? Your answer is this. So it is dissolved in water. It gives calcium hydroxide. It's calcium oxide, but on dissolving in water, it gives calcium hydroxide along with a large amount of heat. So reaction is exothermic. So you can put the physical state even. Calcium oxide is a solid, water is liquid. So it is dissolved. When it dissolved, the solid is dissolved in liquid, it becomes aqueous. Aqueous. Now I'm taking your question number 5. Question number 5 is, why is the amount of the gas collected in one of the jar is double? It is your, that is water. Why the amount of gas collected in one of the tube double the amount collected during electrolysis of water? You know, water has double the amount of hydrogen. So that's the reason. You can say water has double the amount of hydrogen. So during electrolysis of water, we get the double the amount of hydrogen. Name the gas. The answer is hydrogen gas. Okay. So this is the answer. When you pass electric current, it's electrolytic decomposition. When you pass electric current, it shows decomposition reaction. It is called electrolytic decomposition reaction. And it gives hydrogen and oxygen. You can balance the equation. It is 2 water, it's 2 hydrogen. Reaction is balanced. So double the amount of hydrogen. That's name the gas, hydrogen. Question number 6. Why does the color of copper sulfate changes when iron nail is dipped into it? Answer is iron, copper sulfate, it is displacement reaction. More active element displaces the less reactive element. So color changes because it displaces, it's of blue color and it's of light green color. The color changes because now in the solution there is not copper, but now in the solution there is iron. It is copper. So write down, it's a displacement reaction where a more reactive metal displaces the less reactive metal. So color of the copper sulfate changes. Give an example of double displacement reaction. You can write double displacement is silver nitrate, Ag plus 1, nitrate is minus 1, sodium plus 1. So you can write double displacement, Ab plus Ct. Your answer is plus it is, minus it is, plus it is, minus it. Opposite charge attract each other. Your answer is AgCl and sodium nitrate. Sodium nitrate. It's a double displacement reaction. You may put the that is physical state even. Silver nitrate is a solution, NaCl is solution, but it's a precipitate solid, it is solid and it is solution, aqueous. Now I'm taking your question number 8. Identify the substance which is oxidized and reduced. Sodium plus oxygen. So sodium oxidized. In this reaction, sodium is accepting oxygen, so it's forming sodium oxide. So what is oxidation? Addition of oxygen. Sodium, addition of oxygen. Sodium write down oxidized and the other one get reduced. Which is oxidized sodium and which is reduced oxygen. Identify the substance which is oxidized and reduced in the reaction I have given. I am taking calcium oxide plus copper. It's a copper oxide plus hydrogen and a copper and water. Now you can see here removal of oxygen, so it is getting reduced. It is, you can write here sodium oxidized and other one getting reduced. Now here removal of oxygen because copper oxide converted to copper, so it is reduced and hydrogen getting oxygen, so it is oxidized. So you know what is oxidation? Oxidation means addition of oxygen, removal of hydrogen, and reduction means addition of hydrogen, removal of oxygen, right? So it is reduced, removal of oxygen, reduced. Now this question completed, your 8 question get completed. This is all of the internal question. Now I am taking the exercise questions. Open exercise question. Your question number 1 is, your reaction is given 2 PbO plus carbon, arrow 2 Pb plus CO. The answer is to whatever it is written. They are saying which of the following is incorrect. Now before without saying you can check. In PbO, lead oxide converted to lead. That means removal of oxygen. So it is getting reduced. Removal of oxygen. And carbon getting oxygen. So it is getting oxygen. These two are the statements correct. Now I am taking first A statement. A is lead is getting reduced. No, lead is not getting reduced. PbO getting reduced. So this statement is wrong. A part is wrong. B part is carbon dioxide is getting oxidized. Carbon dioxide is not getting oxidized. Carbon dioxide is right. No, carbon dioxide is not getting or reduced. So carbon is getting oxidized. It is again wrong. Third part is carbon is getting oxidized. C part is correct. Lead oxide is getting reduced. It is correct. So I think your question is, the incorrect statements are 2, that is first and second. Lead is getting reduced is wrong. Carbon dioxide is getting oxidized is wrong. Both statements are wrong and you can check the option. Now I am taking the second one is, first 2 statements are wrong. Okay. Now second, I am taking your second question. Fe2O3 plus aluminium, arrow Al2O3 plus iron. The question they are asking, above reaction is one of the displacement reaction. It is one of the displacement reaction because aluminium is displacing iron. So tick, it's a displacement reaction. Now I'm taking third one, C part, third question. Exercise, what happens when dilute HCl is added to iron? Its answer is this, FeCl2 plus hydrogen. Let me check the answers. Hydrogen gas and iron chloride produce. Right. First part is right. Next, chlorine gas and other parts are wrong. Now I'm taking question number 4. First part is, what is a balanced chemical location? Balanced chemical location is that where the number of atom on reactant side is equal to the number of atom in product side. Remember this. So this is a balanced location. So what is a balanced location? Where number of reactant on both sides, that is reactant and product side, same. Why should the reaction should be balanced? Write down the answer. Reaction should be balanced because it is written that matter can neither be created nor destroyed during any physical and chemical change. It's your law of thermodynamics. Matter can neither be created nor be destroyed during any physical and chemical change. So that's the reason reaction should be balanced. Reaction is always balanced. Okay, there are many more. That is your mass. There is this one, this. Second, you may write always mass of reactant before the reaction is always equal to mass of product after the reaction. Mass of reactant before the reaction is always equal to mass of product after the reaction. So write down, this is a law of conservation of mass. Okay. So what is a balanced location? Where the number of atom on both sides same. And why it should be balanced? Because there are two rules. Matter can neither be created nor be destroyed during any physical and chemical change. You may learn any. Either you write mass of the reactant before the reaction is always equal to mass of product after the reaction. Now I'm taking the next questions. I think next question you can do yourself because all are your balancing parts. So many reactions I have already taken in balance in my lecture. Question number 5 is of balancing, 6 is of balancing, 7 is of balancing, 8 is of balancing. No, I'm leaving these questions and I'm taking question number 9. All balancing you can do yourself. Question number 9. What is meant by exothermic reaction? In exothermic reaction, I have taken today your lime plus water where heat is released. Exothermic reactions where heat is released and heat is written on the product side with plus heat. You can take one more example, nitrogen plus hydrogen, ammonia, heat released on this side, product side. Heat is released. You can balance it. Now this is exothermic reaction. And what is endothermic reaction? Now you can take vice versa of this, where heat is absorbed. Here heat is written this side. Okay. Now it is N2 plus 3H2. So this is one of the exo reaction and this is also exo. This is one of the endo reaction. Endo reaction where heat is required. Heat is written on the product side, exo. If the heat is written on the reactant side, it is always endo reaction. Next question, respiration is an exo reaction. Question number 10. During respiration, our glucose, our food get broken down. C6H12O6 glucose plus oxygen respiration, and carbon dioxide, water and energy. Because again this energy is on the product side, so it is one of the exothermic reaction. Okay, so next is why decomposition is opposite of combination, that is combination reaction. You can take the same example of, so same example you may take like same. This is one nitrogen plus 3 hydrogen, where elements join to give one product. This is combination reaction, okay? Same reaction you have used in exothermic. Okay, now this is decomposition reaction, vice versa. This is decomposition reaction. Same example you may take in exo and endo. Heat. So this is your combination reaction and this is your decomposition reaction. So what is a combination reaction? Where two elements or two compounds react and give only single product. And what is decomposition? Vice versa. That is single product that is break up by applying heat, thermal decomposition, by passing current like water electrolysis, electrolytic decomposition. There are many types of decomposition. photo decomposition. Now I'm taking question number 12. Write one example of the decomposition where energy is supplied in the form of heat. You can take this same 2 ammonia in the heat supplied. It's a thermal decomposition, right? It's a thermal decomposition. Now by means of electric current, you can take water, electricity. This is the electrolytic decomposition. It's the hydrogen plus oxygen. You may balance it. Now next is your silver photo. This reaction is used in photography. This reaction uses sunlight. Sunlight. It's a silver plus chlorine. It's 2 silver. So this is thermal decomposition. This is electro decomposition. This is photo decomposition. Now I'm taking question number is 13. What is the difference between displacement and double displacement reaction? In displacement reaction, only one of the metal, like zinc plus copper sulfate, one of the metal displaces another metal. It's a displacement reaction. More active metal displaces the less reactive metal. It's a displacement reaction. One of the metal displaces the other. And in double displacement, 2 metals. For example, silver nitrate plus sodium chloride. So it is your silver chloride and sodium nitrate, double decomposition, double breakage. So silver chloride plus sodium nitrate. So in displacement reaction, one of the metal displaces the other, more reactive metal displaces the less reactive metal, and in double displacement reaction, the two decompositions takes place, 2 types. Now I'm taking the next question. My next question is question number 14. In the refining of silver, the recovery of silver from silver nitrate solution involve displacement by silver nitrate and copper. Copper is more reactive than silver, so answer is copper nitrate. Copper is 2 plus, nitrate is -1. You may balance it. 2 silver. In this way, silver produced. Copper plus silver nitrate. Copper is more reactive than silver. Copper will displace silver from the solution. Copper is 2 plus, nitrate is -1. So formula become CuNO3 twice. Now I am taking question number precipitation action. What is meant by very insoluble salt produced? That is, I am taking one of the precipitation action. You can take sodium sulfate. It's a double decomposition. Barium chloride. Your answer comes barium sulfate, sodium sulfate. Sodium is +1, sulfate is 2 minus. Barium is 2 plus, chloride is -1. So your answer comes barium sulfate. It's one of the precipitation action, right? And what left? Sodium chloride, 2 NaCl. It's a precipitation action where insoluble salt formed. Next question is what is meant by that question we have already taken an explanation in oxidation and reduction, a topic we already covered. I'm not taking this question now. Question number 17, a shiny brown colored X on heating in air become brown. That is copper and oxygen. Shiny become, and heated, it, the answer comes this, it react with air, you can balance it, this you are balancing. A shiny brown colored compound X is copper. On heating in air become black, this is black colored compound, copper oxide. Name the element X and name the black colored compound. Black colored compound is copper oxide. Right. Question number next. Why do we apply paint on our iron article? We apply paint on iron article because to prevent corrosion. Just write one line. To prevent corrosion. Corrosion means rusting. Rusting. So if you will paint your iron article, your iron will not expose to air. Right? Your iron article will not expose to air. If it exposed to air, it get rusted. So to prevent corrosion, to prevent rusting, to prevent exposure of air. Now question is oil and fat containing food items. Okay. Now students, the food items which have oil and fat, their taste and their color become changed after some time because with the passage of time it react with the air, oxygen, it get oxidized, and a smell, foul smell started coming out, as well as color changes. So this is called rancidity of the food items. So that's the reason food items, which because it has presence of oil as well as fat. The food items which have the presence of oil and fat, they become rancidity. Rancidity of the food takes place. Rancidity means color changes, taste changes. Why? Because they get oxidized. Oil and fat get oxidized. So this is called rancidity of the food. When color changes, smell comes out, taste changes. Okay, next same question, Peter 20th. What is meant by corrosion and what is meant by rancidity? So this is all about your NCERT exercise and internal question. Students, listen to me. All these questions, explanation, I've explained. Now I will write all the question and send to you by a link. Even I'm going to send you some MCQ type questions. This lesson has been totally completed. So I've taken explanation of each and every topic. What was by chapter? What is a chemical reaction? What is a chemical location? How a chemical location is written? How location is balanced? Physical state, reactant, product, types of the chemical reactions. The main topic, combination, displacement, and that is called double displacement, and other. There are so many: oxidation, reduction, corrosion, and rancidity. These are the topics of this chapter. So you take the explanation of these all topics from my lectures. My all lectures are available in my channel, that is Advanced Chemistry on YouTube. And with this, this is my last lecture of this, that is first chapter of class 10. But with this, I will send you the link where all these questions will be written, and even I will ask some of the MCQ question. You solve this question. If any problem comes, you can send me the problem at my email ID, nina.jagdish. Any of the problem you can send me at the rate of gmail.com. nina.jagdishdeora at the rate of gmail.com. You can send me any problem. I will solve your problem. But I will send you all the MCQs now. So that's the end of the first chapter. And after the total explanation of this chapter, I'm also going to send you some of the test assignment of this chapter. After that, I will start with the chapter 2. Thank you.